This also explains why so many people are not well. It also explains why we have a lot of mental illness today. It also explains why people are aging far too young. It has a lot to do with sleep. Now, there are things that will definitely stop sleep. If you wake in the night, can't sleep, the worst thing you can do is look at your phone. Because remember what those devices are giving off, blue light? Yes, it's a different frequency to the sunlight, so you won't get the benefits of sunlight, but it's similar enough to give your brain the message, daytime, wake up! You won't sleep after you've looked at your phone, or very difficult to get back to sleep. It's the early hours. The house is quiet. Everyone else is sleeping. Yet you're up again. If this resonates, you're not the only one. Plenty beyond their 60th year find themselves looking at the roof in the dark, night after night, puzzled as to why sleep evades them. Perhaps you've tried warm milk, counting imaginary animals, even sleeping pills, but the relief doesn't last. The reality is this 3 a.m. awakening isn't just some inevitable consequence of getting older, it's your body attempting to communicate something significant. Today we're going to figure out what that is in clear, uncomplicated language. No baffling doctor speak, just the plain facts for everyday individuals. Because you are entitled to proper rest, regardless of your age. Now take this to heart. It's not your failing. You've done nothing amiss. Our physical forms alter as we advance in years. That's simply how things are. But that doesn't dictate that you must resign yourself to unsettled nights, as merely a feature of growing old. Consider how much improved you would feel if you could sleep uninterrupted through the night once more. Picture waking feeling renewed, with the energy to enjoy your day, spend time with family, or finally tackle that pastime you've been putting off. That's not just a fantasy, it's achievable. The crucial element is understanding what's actually occurring within your body at 3 a.m. It might be a shift in your natural rhythms, a side effect of medication, or even something as straightforward as what you consumed for your evening meal. Once we pinpoint the cause, we can work on the solution together. And don't fret, we're not discussing extreme alterations or costly treatments. Small, practical measures can make a significant difference. So if you're weary of feeling tired, stay with me. We'll address this step by step, at your own pace. Because a decent night's sleep isn't a luxury, it's your right. Before we proceed, share in the comments where you're viewing from and what health topic you'd be interested in seeing next. Why you keep waking at 3 a.m., the plain truth. Let's have an honest discussion about what's happening in your body at night. Your body's internal clock is changing. Remember when you could stay up past the late news and sleep until sunrise? Those days might be behind you, but there's a valid reason. Inside us all is a natural timer that signals when to sleep and wake. As we get older, this timer shifts forward, akin to adjusting your watch ahead by an hour unintentionally. Doctors term this an advanced sleep phase, but you can simply think of it as your body wanting to go to bed and wake up earlier than it used to. This is why you might feel sleepy soon after your evening meal, but then find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m. Your body perceives it as morning already. Around 1 in 3 individuals past 65 experience this. The good news is understanding this is the initial step towards resolving it. Later I'll share uncomplicated methods to gently reset your natural timer so you can sleep through the night once more. Sleep. I want to show you what happens when you sleep. And when you understand what happens when you sleep, you begin to have a knowledge on the important times to sleep and why. There's a little tiny gland in the base of the brain, and it's called the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is about the size of maybe a macadamia nut, and it's right in the base of your brain. And the pineal gland releases 4 hormones every night, but only in certain hours. In the winter time, it's between 9 and 2. And at the moment it's between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. Why only those times? It has much to do with the moons and the tides. Light and dark signals are fed through the optic nerve to a control centre in the brain where your body clock is located. And your body clock communicates with the pineal gland. And these are the hormones that are released. One is melatonin. A lot of people have heard of melatonin. Some people that don't sleep very well take melatonin. Well, we naturally release melatonin in that time, and it's called the fix and rejuvenate nighttime hormone. So it is this hormone that probably is mostly responsible for the fix and rejuvenation that's happening in our brain and our body while we sleep.
Your sleep hormones are also changing. Now let's discuss two vital helpers in your body, melatonin and cortisol. Melatonin is like your body's natural sleep aid. It induces drowsiness when it gets dark. Cortisol is your natural wake-up call. It assists you in waking in the morning. Here's what alters as we age. We produce less melatonin, roughly half as much at 60 as we did at 20. Cortisol can peak at inappropriate times, such as in the middle of the night. This clarifies why you might struggle to fall asleep, wake up suddenly at 3 a.m. feeling alert, and have difficulty returning to sleep. But before you become concerned, know this: there are safe, natural ways to help rebalance these hormones. Simple actions like exposure to morning sunlight or adjusting your meal times can make a significant difference. We'll cover all these solutions shortly. Your sleep isn't as deep as it once was. When you were younger, you likely slept soundly. Nothing could rouse you. Now the slightest sound or even your own thoughts might disturb you. Here's why. Younger individuals spend about 20% of the night in deep sleep, that heavy restorative sleep where you don't dream. But after 60, we might only achieve 5 to 10% deep sleep. Instead, we spend more time in light sleep, where we're easier to awaken. Think of it this way. Youthful sleep is like being at the bottom of a deep swimming pool, hard to disturb. Older sleep is like floating near the surface. Every small ripple affects you. This doesn't mean you're destined for poor sleep indefinitely. There are proven methods to increase your deep sleep, make your light sleep more restorative, and lessen nighttime awakenings. Simple adjustments to your bedtime routine, your diet, and how you prepare your sleeping space can assist you in obtaining more of that beneficial deep sleep your body craves. Stay with me and I'll guide you through each one. The breathing you don't recall stopping. Many don't realize our breathing patterns shift as we sleep past 60. The muscles in our throat naturally relax more. Sometimes they relax excessively, briefly obstructing airflow just enough to jolt us awake. You might not remember gasping for air, but notice a dry mouth upon waking, morning headaches that subside by afternoon, and unexplained daytime weariness, despite sufficient hours in bed. This disrupted breathing pattern most commonly occurs in the early morning hours when sleep is lightest. The restless urge you can't explain. Then there's that peculiar sensation, not exactly pain, but an overwhelming need to move your legs. It arises as you attempt to settle down for the night, or returns when you wake at 3 a.m. Science indicates this discomfort becomes more frequent with age, because nerve signals in our limbs become more sensitive. Iron processing subtly changes over decades, and circulation isn't what it once was. What feels like restless energy is actually your nervous system sending mixed signals during the quietest hours of the night. The aches that follow their own schedule. Our joints have a troublesome way of reminding us of their presence. That hip or knee that barely bothers you during the day suddenly demands attention at 3 a.m. This happens because nighttime inflammation follows different patterns as we age. Lying still allows fluid to accumulate in joints differently, and the body's natural pain relief mechanisms are less effective. The pain isn't imagined, it's your body's way of responding to changes that occur as the years pass. The medications that work against you. Here's something few consider. The very medicines intended to help us might be contributing to our sleeplessness. Common prescriptions taken by millions of older adults can increase nighttime urination when taken too late, alter sleep structure without obvious warning, and create subtle chemical imbalances that surface at night. The irony is disheartening. We take pills to improve our health, only to have them steal our precious sleep. The midnight mind that won't quiet. Perhaps most frustrating are those nights when nothing physically seems amiss, yet your mind races the moment you wake. This isn't simply worrying, it's your brain chemistry shifting. Maintaining sleep becomes harder after 60. Stress hormones often peak at unnatural times, and the boundary between sleep and wakefulness blurs. Your anxious thoughts at 3 a.m. aren't a personal failing. They're the result of biological changes occurring in every aging brain. These nighttime awakenings aren't character flaws or personal weaknesses. They're the body's honest response to the natural progression of time. While we can't reverse the clock, understanding these changes is the initial step toward better rest. In our next discussion, we'll explore how to work with these changes rather than struggle against them.
And if you happen to start thinking negativity, or one thing that'll always stop you sleeping is getting annoyed with the fact that you can't sleep. And remember, nerves that lie together fire together. So once you start getting annoyed, you'll start to think of all the terrible things in your life. You'll start to think of, and that's why if you go over to be thankful, list in your mind all the things that you're thankful for. And then you'll find, remember, nerves that lie together, fire together, more positive things will come up. And be careful what you say. Because as you'll see on Saturday morning, your words affect your thoughts. And one lady said to me, I can't sleep, I never sleep, I can't sleep. I said to her, please don't say that anymore. She said, but it's true. I said, is it helping? She said, no.
When your mind prevents sleep, the 3 a.m. worry cycle. My neighbor Sarah used to call 3 a.m. her worry time. She'd wake with a jolt, her heart pounding, and within moments her mind would be racing through every problem she'd ever encountered. It's as if my brain saves up all the stressful thoughts and unleashes them on me. In the middle of the night, she told me one morning over coffee, rubbing her tired eyes. This phenomenon is incredibly common among older adults, as our brains undergo natural changes that make us more susceptible to nighttime anxiety. Why our brains behave this way? Sarah's doctor explained the fascinating science behind these nighttime worries. As we age, our sleep structure alters, and we spend more time in lighter sleep stages. During these vulnerable periods, our brain's default mode network, responsible for self-reflection and emotional processing, becomes overactive. Compounding this is the natural cortisol surge that occurs between 2 and 4 a.m., a remnant from our evolutionary past, when nighttime alertness could signify survival. These biological factors create the ideal conditions for 3 a.m. anxiety episodes. The stress spiral. What Sarah found most insightful was understanding the vicious cycle of nighttime anxiety. It would begin with a minor concern, perhaps about an upcoming medical appointment. This initial worry would trigger a small cortisol release, making her more alert. The increased alertness then made her notice more worries, which released more cortisol. Before long, she'd be wide awake, catastrophizing about everything from household repairs to climate change. I'd find myself stressing about problems that didn't even exist during daylight hours.
Stress certainly decreases the output of the hormones at night. And isn't it true, when we lay down to go to sleep, then our mind starts to work. It's called the chat room. Chat, 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 chat. And this is what my mind does. Right, I'm going to do that, and I'll start a garden there, and I'll... You've got to get out of that chat room. Now, so lay there and be thankful. It's like one man here, and this is what I found, is that some people who can't sleep, and you will come across this, I can't sleep, this is ridiculous, I've got to sleep, why can't I sleep, I've got a big day tomorrow. That person will never sleep. Do you sleep if you're getting annoyed with the fact that you can't sleep? So we're actually going to also say getting annoyed. This is ridiculous. I should be asleep. I need my sleep. So I come get an email from a lady. I'm still not sleeping. I'm not sleeping. I'm tired in the day. You know, how can I ever heal without sleep? And she goes on and on.
The power of shifting perspective. The breakthrough came when Sarah's therapist shared a simple but potent comparison. 3 a.m. thoughts are like messages sent under the influence. Never trust them. This humorous analogy helped Sarah recognize that nighttime worries are often distorted versions of reality. The darkness, isolation, and fatigue of the early morning hours amplify our concerns beyond their actual significance. Understanding this helped Sarah stop taking her 3 a.m. thoughts so seriously. Practical solutions that are effective. Sarah developed a simple 3-step routine for these wakeful nights. First, she performs a reality check, asking if the worry requires immediate attention. Next, she writes down her thoughts in a bedside note. Finally, she practices 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. The notebook trick works wonders, Sarah says. Seeing my worries written down makes them feel smaller and more manageable. A new relationship with nighttime. While Sarah still experiences occasional nighttime wakefulness, her approach has completely changed. Now when I wake up anxious, I don't become upset about being awake, she explains. I simply go through my routine and trust that sleep will return. This shift in perspective from frustration to acceptance has made a significant difference in her sleep quality and overall well-being. You are not alone. Sarah's story illustrates what sleep researchers are increasingly recognizing. Nighttime anxiety is a common, biologically driven experience, not a personal failing. By understanding the mechanisms behind these wakeful episodes and having simple coping strategies ready, we can transform our relationship with those quiet nighttime hours. The aim isn't perfection, but rather developing the tools to navigate these moments with compassion and effectiveness, finding your way back to restful nights. Reset your internal clock with morning light. That groggy, unrested feeling you experience often originates from a disrupted circadian rhythm. A simple yet powerful solution is obtaining 15 minutes of morning sunlight exposure while enjoying your tea or coffee. This natural light therapy helps regulate melatonin production and strengthens your sleep-wake cycle. Even on overcast days or sitting by a sunny window, this practice can significantly reduce nighttime awakenings within days by properly aligning your body's internal clock. Morning light exposure is particularly vital for seniors as our eyes' lenses yellow with age, reducing light absorption. The earlier you can expose yourself to sunlight after waking, the stronger the signal to your biological clock. Consistency is more important than duration. Even 5 minutes daily helps reinforce this rhythm. Establish a soothing evening routine. Your pre-bedtime activities may be unknowingly sabotaging your sleep. Replace stimulating television programs or news broadcasts with calming alternatives like soft music, audiobooks, or gentle reading. Incorporate gentle seated stretches and dim the lights about an hour before bedtime. These changes work by lowering cortisol levels and activating your body's natural relaxation response, making it easier to fall and stay asleep throughout the night. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to evening stimulation while producing less natural sleep-inducing chemicals. A predictable wind-down routine compensates for these changes. The blue light emitted from screens is particularly disruptive. Try amber reading lights instead. Your evening habits should signal it's time to rest, not demand attention.
Fresh air. I think everyone knows that. Fresh air while you're sleeping. Very important. So you've got that oxygen while you're sleeping. We should... Pardon?
Exercise.
Oh, I thought I'd put it there. Thank you. Absolutely. Should have been number one.
Optimize your sleep environment. Your bedroom setup plays a crucial role in sleep quality as you age. Assess and modify key elements. Install effective blackout curtains to eliminate light pollution. Maintain a cool room temperature between 18 and 20 degrees Celsius. Remove or cover all electronic light sources. These adjustments create ideal sleeping conditions by minimizing disruptions and reinforcing your brain's association between the bedroom and restful sleep. Older adults often sleep better with heavier blankets for comfort while keeping the room cool. Consider using a white noise machine to mask disruptive sounds that become more noticeable with age. Your mattress and pillow support needs may have changed. Don't hesitate to update them for better spinal alignment.
Large meal at night. We should be eating breakfast like a king. We ate like a king this morning, didn't we? Lunch like a queen. And you know, sometimes the queen eats as much as the king. And tea like a pauper. One lady said, "What do paupers eat?" I said, "Sometimes nothing." When we lay down to sleep, our whole body wants to sleep. But if you've got food in your stomach, your body can't sleep. Your stomach can't sleep. Because it must digest that meal, because in that warm environment, the food can begin to rot. And you could be poisoned by the fumes. That's ptomaine poisoning. You've heard of ptomaine poisoning? Sort of an old term, P-T-O-M-A-N-E. That's from food rotting in the stomach and the fumes coming off it. So the large meal at night.
Choose sleep-friendly evening snacks. Your nighttime eating habits directly influence sleep maintenance. Replace sugary snacks that cause blood sugar fluctuations with balanced options containing complex carbohydrates and healthy fats. Good choices include oatmeal with walnuts, banana with almond butter, or whole grain crackers with cheese. These foods provide steady overnight energy and contain natural sleep-promoting nutrients like tryptophan and magnesium. Digestion slows with age, making lighter evening meals especially important. Tart cherry juice contains natural melatonin, while pumpkin seeds offer magnesium for muscle relaxation. Avoid fluids 2 hours before bed to minimize bathroom visits, but ensure adequate hydration earlier in the day. When to seek professional help for your sleep issues. You should consult your doctor if you've implemented lifestyle changes but still regularly wake up feeling exhausted. It may be time to see your doctor. Pay attention to these warning signs. Loud snoring with choking sensations, possible sleep apnea, restless legs that keep you awake, or daytime fatigue that affects your mood and concentration. Don't dismiss these as normal aging. They could indicate treatable conditions. Simple sleep tests are available. Modern sleep evaluations are more accessible than you might think. Many doctors start with take-home tests that you complete in your own bed. If necessary, overnight sleep studies now use comfortable, non-invasive equipment. Simple blood tests can also check for vitamin deficiencies or thyroid issues that commonly disrupt sleep after 60. As we conclude, remember this. Good sleep isn't a luxury. It's the quiet foundation that allows you to enjoy life to its fullest. Those small changes we've discussed, morning light, calming evenings, a sleep-friendly bedroom, aren't just about closing your eyes at night. They're about opening them each morning feeling refreshed, ready for whatever the day brings. Perhaps you'll begin by stepping outside with your tea tomorrow, or finally covering that blinking light in your bedroom. Maybe you'll discuss with your doctor the fatigue that's been weighing you down. Whatever step you take, know this: every small improvement accumulates. You've dedicated years to caring for others. Now it's time to give yourself the gift of rest. So tonight, as you settle in, remember you're not just striving for better sleep. You're investing in more vibrant days, clearer thoughts, and the energy to savor this chapter of life. Here's to peaceful nights and to all the joyful moments they'll help you wake up for. Sweet dreams, you've got this. If you found this helpful, share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on living your healthiest life. Thank you for watching, and as always, Stay informed, stay healthy.